You say this cat is a bad mother.
Shut your mouth.
I'm talking about Sheriff.
Then we can dig it.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 original songs for movies.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power.
For this list, we'll be looking at popular songs that were written specifically for films but found critical and commercial success on their own. These are not numbers from musicals or animated features. They're blockbuster hits that we love from both the movies and the radio. What's your favorite original song to go with the movie or your personal playlist? Chime in the comments. Number 20, The Power of Love, Back to the Future. With the news making headlines after their breakthrough album Sports, Huey Lewis was tapped to write a song for the time travel comedy Back to the Future. He wrote two. Back in Time may be a catchy compliment to the movie's sci-fi theme, but The Power of Love kicks things off at full speed. Marty McFly also covers the unmistakable 80s tune at a Battle of the Bands audition, but doesn't impress a judge played by Lewis himself.
Hold it, fellas. I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.
His version, however, was an instant hit alongside Back to the Future. Sure, the lyrics' lack of reference to the movie helps The Power of Love independently stand out for Lewis's fans, but it still has the power to drive us back to the 80s. Number 19, Glory, Selma. Ava DuVernay's dramatization of Martin Luther King's March for Voting Rights is an inspiring piece of history. Still, the relevance of this fight today is truly felt in the film's theme song, Glory.
Glory. Glory.
While soul superstar John Legend leads a chorus's call of triumph, Common's emotive rap verses make a call to action. He even parallels Rosa Parks with the anti-racism protests in Ferguson, Missouri that were held just a few months before Selma's release.
Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walked through Ferguson with our hands up.
Glory was considered an easy winner for the Academy Award for Best Original Song and is still a live staple for Legend and Common. More importantly, the anthem reminds us that Dr. King's vision for justice in Black America still marches on. Number 18, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Paul Newman and Robert Redford certainly excited viewers as two of the Old West's most daring outlaws. The movie still humanizes them by regularly breaking this tension to celebrate true freedom. Country pop singer B.J. Thomas puts that into perspective with Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun.
The smooth ballad's optimism about happy days ahead perfectly suits a montage of the fugitives having fun with a bicycle. Although some felt that the song otherwise didn't suit the harrowing Western's tone or timeline, its unique and uplifting pop style is still considered a highlight of both the movie and Thomas's career. While Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid sensationalizes said outlaw's legacy, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head has found its own as a feel-good classic.
Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me.
Number 17, Arthur's Theme, Best That You Can Do, Arthur. Hot off his acclaimed debut album at the turn of the 1980s, Christopher Cross was approached to score a romantic comedy about a drunken playboy caught between an heiress and his modest soulmate. Though that gig ultimately went to Burt Bacharach, he and Cross did collaborate on the theme song for Arthur. It was a passionate display of both the singer's serene soft rock mastery and Arthur's romantic dilemma. The movie and its theme both became unlikely commercial and critical successes. The latter was also the last time Cross topped the Billboard Hot 100. He still commands a loyal fan base who rank Arthur's theme, also known as Best That You Can Do, among the best that he has done. Number 16, theme from Shaft, Shaft. The 70s blaxploitation movement delivered many iconically cool movies and soundtracks. Gordon Parks' detective actioner Shaft stands out for Richard Roundtree's charisma and Isaac Hayes' classic theme song.
Who's the black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks?
Shaft!
Damn right.
You don't need to be Shaft's woman to understand him with this descriptive soul ballad. It sums up the complicated man's tough but smooth attitude with its funky groove alone. Between its title and self-aware lyrics, theme from Shaft is invariably tied to the movie.
Who is the man that would risk his neck for his brother, man?
Shaft!
Can you dig it?
Nonetheless, it was a hit on its own, topping the charts and winning Hayes the Oscar for Best Original Song. The theme went on to become a catalyst for disco and a highlight of 70s soul, ensuring that audiences would be talking about Shaft for generations to come.
He's a complicated man, but no one understands him but his woman.
John Shaft.
Number 15, Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters. We all know the struggle in thinking of any other response to the question, who you gonna call? The hilarious heroism of the paranormal investigation service Ghostbusters speaks for itself.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call?
Still, you'll walk away from the paranormal comedy classic haunted by Ray Parker Jr.'s jingle. Despite Huey Lewis receiving a settlement when it was revealed that Ghostbusters' theme song may have been under the influence of I Want a New Drug, Parker had his own chartbuster. The song became as much of a phenomenon as the movie itself, with a catchy lyric and riff that highlighted 80s pop culture. Ghostbusters is certainly an immortal highlight in Parker's career.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I can't hear you. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Number 14, Eye of the Tiger, Rocky III. The Rocky franchise may be the heavyweight champion of sports movie montages. One song in particular knocks out all competition. Although Rocky III received mixed reviews, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger riled up audiences with its empowering lyrics and unmistakable guitar riff. The namesake of the band's album released a week after the movie. The song became Survivor's biggest single and one of the hottest hard rock recordings of the 80s. The ferocious power ballad has since been co-opted and parodied by countless other properties to get audiences hyped. Gary Busey even starred in a revenge thriller named after the song, but in the tournament of sports movie anthems, Eye of the Tiger remains undisputed. Number 13, Mrs. Robinson, The Graduate. The actual extent of romance in the romantic drama The Graduate is perhaps reflected in its use of Simon and Garfunkel. Though the film promoted the folk duo's most melancholy classics, their original contribution is an upbeat highlight. Mrs. Robinson pays sympathetic tribute to Anne Bancroft's character, a lonely housewife who has an affair with a much younger man.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Aren't you?
Well, no, I hadn't thought of it.
The catchy acoustic melody and poignant vocals stood out from the acclaimed soundtrack as a pop breakout. Of course, the album Bookends features the more well-known revised version of Mrs. Robinson, which became the first rock song ever to win the Grammy for Record of the Year in 1969.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The Graduate nonetheless originated the Simon & Garfunkel Essential, the recognition that Mrs. Robinson herself deserves. Number 12, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Dolly Parton made her acting debut starring alongside Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin in 1980's 9 to 5. The feminist workplace comedy has become a classic, partly for the country superstar's performance and not just on the screen. Her up-tempo theme song about the daily office grind is as relatable as it is catchy.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life.
It was actually released a month before the movie on Parton's album 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs, but as the movie topped the box office, its theme topped the music charts and won widespread acclaim. Widely considered one of Parton's best songs, 9 to 5 remains popular as society catches up to workplace woes, especially for women.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by, it's all taking and no giving.
At least Parton herself has found a great way to make a living. Number 11, Streets of Philadelphia, Philadelphia. Bruce Springsteen has written many musical masterpieces for disenfranchised souls, usually from his native New Jersey. But one of his most powerful ballads was written and named for the seminal legal drama Philadelphia.
I was bruised and battered, I couldn't tell what I felt. I was unrecognizable to myself.
Though the film is best known for Tom Hanks' dramatic breakout as a lawyer dying of AIDS, Streets of Philadelphia delivers the first heartbreak during the opening credits. This ethereal plea for true brotherly love won Springsteen an Oscar and was named the best song of the year by the Grammys. Now also considered a favorite among fans of The Boss, Streets of Philadelphia is certainly hailed as one of the most moving movie themes of the 90s.
leave each other alone like this on the streets of Philadelphia.
Number 10, Flashdance. What a feeling. Flashdance. The dance drama Flashdance pulled audiences out of their seats with a soundtrack by Euro disco pioneer Giorgio Moroder. The movie's title track particularly showcased his infectious pop hooks and the soulful vocals of Irene Cara.
Where I hear the music, close my eyes, feel the rhythm.
A stirring call to move for your dreams, Flashdance What a Feeling is also used to parallel main character Alex working at a steel mill in the opening scene with her climactic dance audition. The song became a hit song along with the film while winning greater critical acclaim. Cara nonetheless took legal actions against the record company for withholding royalties on the Oscar-winning song.
What a feeling, feels believing.
Though she claimed that this incident compromised her career, What a Feeling commemorates it as her biggest hit and a dance movie anthem. Number 9, Fight the Power, Do the Right Thing. Public Enemy shook America as one of the most defining political hip-hop acts of the 1980s. Spike Lee considered their sound ideal for his groundbreaking hood drama, Do the Right Thing. The movie kicks off with Rosie Perez dancing to Fight the Power, a furious rant against the forces that seek to divide and conquer.
Another summer. Sound of the funky drummer. Music hitting your heart, cause I know you got soul. Hey.
The song later scores the legendary riot scene at the movie's climax. Public Enemy's gripping flow and even more impactful message perfectly complement Lee's confrontation with the strife of America's black community. The song's legacy was cemented when it closed Fear of a Black Planet, widely considered one of the most important rap albums ever.
Fight the power! Fight the power! We got to fight the powers that be!
More than just an independently successful movie theme, Fight the Power is itself a political powerhouse. Number 8, Goldfinger. Goldfinger. The James Bond film franchise has always been distinguished by its jazzy and extravagant music. However, the third installment, Goldfinger, was the first to explore the idea of a lyrical theme song to accompany stylish opening credits.
Golden words he will pour in your ear, but his lies can't disguise what you feel.
Composer John Barry invited pop star Shirley Bassey to sing his eerie ballad about the Bond villain Goldfinger, a wealthy madman who turns people to gold. Producer Harry Saltzman felt this premise worked better for an action movie than a song, but both wound up being massive critical and commercial hits.
He loves only gold.
This launched a lucrative tradition of epic opening songs like Live and Let Die, A View to a Kill, and Skyfall.
Let the sky fall when it crumbles.
But with Barry's hair-raising composition and Bassey's dramatic vocals, many still consider Goldfinger the gold standard. Number 7, Danger Zone, Top Gun. Throughout the 1980s, Kenny Loggins had a string of upbeat pop themes that were as massively successful as the films themselves. For the macho melodrama Top Gun, the king of movie soundtracks needed to turn up the heat. Danger Zone showcases Loggins' edgier vocal range with Giorgio Moroder's swaggering new wave composition on the tail. This hip style encapsulates both the movie's high-flying thrills and the spirit of 80s hard rock. It may have been Berlin's much softer Take My Breath Away that made the Top Gun soundtrack an Oscar winner, but Danger Zone is considered one of Loggins' most successful movie themes and a quintessential standard of its era. Almost 40 years later, the exciting jam still gives listeners the need for speed. Number 6, Don't You Forget About Me, The Breakfast Club. John Hughes' portrait of different walks of high school crossing paths in detention is an 80s highlight on its own. But the Scottish new wave band Simple Minds gives it that extra hook with Don't You Forget About Me.
Won't you come see about me? I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby.
Keith Forsey and Steve Schiff's lyrics sum up the Breakfast Club's themes, while the band's soulful interpretation gives weight to the connections we make in our youth. A solemn departure from the fluffy 80s pop, Don't You Forget About Me has not just become a platinum single and Simple Minds' biggest international single.
Don't forget about me, but you won't come by.
It's a definitive teen anthem that can still be heard in high schools to this day. Although Hughes' equally significant movie celebrates differences, its unforgettable theme song is the perfect match. Number 5, Lose Yourself, 8 Mile. In 2002, Eminem returned to his humbler days in Detroit's rap battle underground in 8 Mile. The acclaimed drama not only displayed the hip-hop titan's diverse skills, but debuted what may be his signature track. Lose Yourself captures the movie's theme as an intense underdog anthem, with a flow and groove that you're bound to get lost in.
Snap back to reality, oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes rabbit, he choke, he's so mad but he won't give up, daddies, he know.
Eminem became the first rapper to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song and topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 12 consecutive weeks. Lose Yourself may not be the revelation of Eminem's talent that his acting was in 8 Mile. He still made the most of this opportunity with what many say is one of the greatest hip-hop and movie theme songs of all time. Number 4, I've Had the Time of My Life, Dirty Dancing. The classic soundtrack of Dirty Dancing goes out on a true showstopper to suit Baby and Johnny's unforgettable last dance.
I've been waiting for so long, now I finally found someone to stand by me.
The Righteous Brothers' Bill Medley was initially reluctant to record the sweeping love ballad I've Had the Time of My Life, concerned that the movie would flop for its suggestive title alone. But after Jennifer Warnes persuaded him to perform it as a duet, both Dirty Dancing and its climactic theme became commercial and critical sensations. The song alone swept music and film awards, becoming each singer's biggest hit. Sure, its unmistakably 80s sound is a bizarre way to punctuate a movie set in the 60s, but as a prime work of romantic dance pop, The Time of My Life is timeless. Number 3, Moon River, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Enchanting as Holly Golightly is as the toast of New York cafe society, her most spellbinding moment was her most somber. Quickly written for Audrey Hepburn's limited vocal range, Moon River came out a serene ballad of longing that hypnotized Holly's neighbor and Hepburn's audience.
Wherever you're going, I'm going your way.
It became a phenomenon, sweeping the Grammys and winning an Oscar in 1962. That same year, Andy Williams covered the song, turning it into his own signature. Moon River has also been recorded by countless other musicians as one of the defining jazz standards of the 60s. It seemed inevitable that the very spot in Savannah, Georgia that inspired Johnny Mercer's lyrics would be named Moon River, but Mercer's masterpiece was first served by Hepburn in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
My huckleberry friend, Moon River, and me.
Number 2, Stayin' Alive, Saturday Night Fever. No movie captured 1970s disco culture like Saturday Night Fever, and few albums captured the sound like the soundtrack. The standout in the Bee Gees set of original songs was the impossibly funky Stayin' Alive.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk.
Sure, every one of the pop group's contributions was an instant success, including Night Fever. But John Travolta strutting to that driving beat and the striking falsetto harmonies is one of the most iconic opening scenes in movie history. The song was the biggest single on one of the top-selling albums of all time. It's such an infectious rhythm that it's even used for CPR training.
Stayin' alive, stayin' alive.
Besides its place in film history, Stayin' Alive is still walking tall as the definitive disco hit and the high-pitched voice of a generation. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, My Heart Will Go On, Titanic. James Cameron was reluctant to use a pop song as the theme for a movie as epic and romantic as Titanic, but the rich score by James Horner and soaring vocals of superstar Celine Dion convinced him. My Heart Will Go On is a grand and heartbreaking love ballad to perfectly punctuate the tragic passion of Jack and Rose.
Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you.
The song won one of Titanic's record-tying 11 Oscars, as well as 4 Grammys. It has gone on to become one of the top-selling singles ever, a staple of Dion's illustrious music catalog. As for Horner, the legendary score composer is no longer with us, but his legacy lives on with one of the most iconic love songs and movie themes of all time.
And I know that my heart will go on.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.